want you to stay here. Now I'm here alone.
Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of my spring cleaning series for 2025. We are going to be tackling this hall closet area. It is just a disaster. We need to go through it, declutter it, kind of figure out where we want to go with organization. We're not going to fully, organize it with all of the organizational things today, but I kind of just want to figure out what we need for this space to make it more functional. And then I can kind of make a list, and then at a later date, once I get done with all of my spring cleaning, we can go in and reorganize those spaces. That's kind of my game plan for all of spring cleaning as we're going through it. I'm going to reorganize it the best I can, but also think about ways that I can reorganize and get those things ordered so that way we can go back in and organize. So that's kind of just my step-by-step thinking of how I'm going to do that this year. So we need to tackle this today. I do want to carpet clean the floors, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna do that like pretty much all at once when I can borrow my mom's carpet cleaner. So that's the plan with our carpets this year. I'm just gonna kind of do it all at once. So we'll do that here in a couple of episodes once we kind of get the majority of the rooms cleaned. So let's get to it. I want to get a ton done, and I want to get it done in a timely manner so that way we can go outside and play this afternoon. Let's go ahead and get started. This is a judgment-free zone, but this area has gotten to be a disaster. It is so bad. So this is where we normally keep our towels. Who knows what is in there at this point. This is like some of my overfull makeup. This is supposed to be medicine and like Waverly's hair stuff. Who even knows what's going on? This is just a combination of stuff. We have like random things that need to be put away. Sunscreen, perfume. This I think is full of perfume. This is all my nail stuff. So let's get this organized the best we can. The drawers also need some help. This is like my hair stuff that needs straightened. Watch your fingers. This is like Wasey stuff that we can kind of go through now. There's a few things that are too small for him that we no longer are needing. This is a bunch of blankets, and the like smaller blankets I want to kind of get rid of. This is like his old thing for his bath. He's too big for that now. Bottom one has sheets, feminine products, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna go through it all, get it cleaned as best as we can.
Isn't this the good life? Sitting on the front porch, sipping on the rocks. Citrus in our beverages. Citrus in our beverages. Show only the good sides. Always pretty smiles are covering our faces.
I really need to get a better organization system for all my perfumes. That's something I'm going to kind of look into getting because I have so many perfumes. I'll show you. This whole bin is just full of perfumes, and I only wear like a select few of them because I forget that I have them. So I really need to figure out a better system for organizing. So that's on my list of kind of how to organize it better.
You know it is all lies. You know it is all lies. On and on it goes. Round and round the rodeo. Breathing out air for a minute. Taking my time to begin with. On and on it goes. Swinging down in life, you know. Breathing out air for a minute. Yeah. Hey, would you rather stay right here? Make everything disappear. Can play my favorite song. Put your rose-colored glasses on. What if we stay right here? Make everything disappear. Lay low in the beaching sun. Put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah. Put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah. Isn't it a big crime to get a little lost in everybody's business? Why don't we all calm down? Why don't we all calm down? I think I'm the wrong size. Not enough room for everybody's egos.
I didn't even use these. Honestly, my recovery for Wasey wasn't too bad. So I'm trying to decide if I could donate these, if like they'd be used where they're unopened. I'm not really sure. So I'm just going to kind of put them to the side. I really have no need for this or this. I didn't need any of this. The time that I actually was prepared, I didn't even use it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll hang on to it, but I really have no purpose for it.
We all calm down. Why don't we all calm down? On and on it goes. Round and round the rodeo. Breathing out air for a minute. Taking make everything disappear. Keep playing my favorite song, put your rose-colored glasses on. What if we stay right here?
So I am just getting started here in these main cupboards, just starting from the top. I took things out, wiped it down, straightened things out, started to organize and figure out what I have in here, because honestly it's just gotten so chaotic that I didn't even know. And then now we're moving on into this second shelf, and this is where we keep all of our medicines. I want to come up with a little bit better of a solution, one that's more of like a stackable version where I can see everything that way. So that's going to be one of my organization things that I'm looking for, just because it's hard to kind of see these, like what all we have. And then in front of the medicine, I do put Waverly's hair stuff, just because we aren't using our medications like on a day-to-day basis. They're more, if we're getting sick and we need something, if we have a fever. So that's what those I have there for. And then I do have like my overflow makeup for like my eyeshadow palettes, like extra like blushes, and then just some extra products that I keep that I will keep in this little organization. So I just kind of straightened it up. I really didn't do too much with this area because it really didn't need too much, and I wanted to keep everything that I had. So we're just kind of going through, straightening up, and then we're going to move on into this bottom area in a minute. And this was probably just, it was so messy. There was towels, and we need to get new towels for Waverly, and honestly Wasey here soon. He's really grown out of the towels that we got him for when he was a baby, so we need to get new towels for them, and we really need to actually replace Trajan and I's towels here soon. We'll probably start with the kids first and then do ours, because ours are in a little bit better shape, and so we'll probably do that. But I was just kind of taking things out, organizing. I did move the toilet paper to the very top shelf. I didn't even show that one because we just have our humidifiers up there, so I put the toilet paper up there. We usually only keep like one thing upstairs, and then the rest of our bulk toilet paper is kept downstairs, but I just like to have some up here, just so we have it. But overall, it felt so good to get this area nice and clean and tidied up. I feel like it was just getting so chaotic. I didn't know where everything, like what was in here, where things went. So it's obviously not perfect, and I have things in my mind of how I can organize better. So now that I know what I have, I'm going to be able to order some things and get this space even more organized. So I'm excited to do that soon.
Front porch sipping on the rocks, citrus in our beverages, citrus in our beverages. Show only the good sides, always pretty smiles that covering her faces. You know it is all lies, you know it is all lies. Hey, would you rather stay right here, make everything disappear? You play my favorite song, put your rose-colored glasses on. What if we stay right here? Everything disappear, lay low in the beach side. Put your rose-colored glasses on, yeah. Put your rose-colored glasses on, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, put your rose-colored glasses on, put your rose-colored glasses on.
So now that I have this top section done, I'm wiping down the inside and outside of the doors, and then we're going to move on into the hair things. That's the top drawer that I have. It just has some hairsprays, my like curling irons, crimpers, blow dryers, some like scrunchies, and then clips, stuff like that. So I'm just kind of straightening it up. It could definitely be better, but like I said, I want to be able to move like all of my hairspray type stuff and like dry shampoos to the bathroom in the basket that I have. I just need to use a little bit more of the product, because I do sometimes keep a lot of back stock. It kind of just depends on things. So I'm going to organize that, and we're going to move on into the baby section, kind of get rid of things that Wasey is no longer using. I did keep some things that he isn't necessarily using all the time, but sometimes, like I kept a ton of burp cloths. We're not using as many as we used to, but it is nice to still have them, and I would like to just keep as many as we can, just so we don't ever have to worry about having some dirty. And then washcloths, we're always using those. Bibs, we're using those all the time with him drooling. So keeping the extra stock of pacifiers, just all the things, wanted to keep it kind of organized. And then I ended up moving like my pump, and I need to move my new pump into there as well, and then his extra bottles that he doesn't use all the time, and then just milk storage containers. So this is kind of just the baby section, and then the next one is blankets, and I will go over all this after of how I organized it and everything, but we're going to go through the blankets, and then we just need to kind of straighten up the bottom drawer. It had sheets, feminine products, bunch of stuff like that just needed cleaned and organized a little bit more. And I also had some postpartum things that I was no longer using, so I just put those aside and so I could put them in storage.
I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, and it's not a lie that I die. I can't hide what this is. Yeah, I keep drowning in those blue eyes, and you can tell me all of your lies. I will put out all of the fire if it gets too dark. I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, yeah, I can carry all that you've got. Two heavy hearts is not a lot. I will put out all of the fire. We stumble and fall, and it's not a lie that I die. I can't hide what this is. Yeah, I keep drowning in those blue eyes, and you can tell me all of your lies. I will put out all of the fire if it gets too dark. I'll be your light. Be your light.
Now that we have the cupboards all cleaned out, we're going to start with wiping down the walls and the baseboards, just getting everything nice and cleaned that way. The walls really weren't too messy. I feel like me cleaning them multiple times a year really just helps with cleaning. It's just like a light dusting, just getting all the dust that has accumulated and not really having to scrub. I mean, there obviously is some little scuff marks that I do need to kind of scrub, but it isn't too bad. It's manageable where I do it 2 times a year. So that is really nice that I got that done. It felt good to get it all cleaned. I'm hoping that I can change the outside of the knobs in here as well as the back door area, like closets, soon. I just think that that would be really nice to change those a little bit. And then I also want to add some wall decor, just, adding some simple homey touches. So I'm just kind of finding what pieces I want to add for these, and then I will add them. But now I'm going ahead and carrying like the baby things and postpartum things that I just wasn't going to be using at this time and putting them downstairs, and that'll get organized soon when we tackle the basement again. The basement has gotten to be so bad. We really need to get that done so that way we can move the toys downstairs. So hopefully soon we'll get that. But now we're going to go ahead and vacuum the floors. And I am making sure to use the corded vacuum today, really to just get a good vacuum. My cordless vacuum is nice for like a day-to-day basis, but I do like to go in with the corded vacuum and really vacuum that way. It just sucks up more of the dirt in the carpet a lot better. And then I'm just taking the stick part and going along the edges to get all of that clean. And we're just going to quickly do that, and then I'll show you an overview of how everything is looking. This is how the hallway's looking. We got all the baseboards clean, the walls. It already looks so much better. We'll tackle these doors when we tackle those rooms, but we got the outsides all clean. Now I will say, This is not perfect. Like I said, we're going to go through, figure out organization. We need to get Waverly News towels. Maybe figure out a little bit of a different towel organization. It's hard where the bathroom doesn't have anything, so that's why a lot of this stuff is actually in here. But like, we're just kind of straighten things up, organized it a little bit better, which I love. So this top drawer just has like hair things, hairsprays, other stuff. A lot of this I want to end up moving into the bathroom in the basket I have up above, but I'm kind of going through products. So as I use products, I'll put them in there. We have all of like my hair tools, extra contact solution. Pretty simple drawer here. But this drawer is like the baby drawer. We have burp cloths. We really don't need this many out because he isn't puking up as much as he used to, but I do like to keep these in here for when we do, and we always are set, and when we don't need them we can just kind of get rid of them. Lots of washcloths, burp cloths. This is like baby soaps and stuff for if we're leaving. There's lots of pacifiers that we maybe could try with Wacy too. Some extra burp cloths. Those ones really aren't necessary. This is like just some things that you might need for a baby. Fingernail clippers, file, all that kind of stuff. These are some backup bottles. These aren't the bottle he uses, but they are nice to just have. These are milk storage containers. This is my old breast pump. I'm going to put my new one in here. I'm not pumping all the time, and so I'm going to keep it in here. So that's why I left that kind of space there. But that's this drawer, definitely better than what it was. Here is like the blankets and sheets. These are all Wacy sheets. These blankets I know for sure I want to keep out. They're bigger, and they're going to be nice to just have throughout the summer, and as he gets a little bit bigger. My mom made these for him. These are all like swaddles, receiving blankets, and I think these are going to be too small by summer, but they actually might be nice just for a light cover up. The swaddles are definitely going to be plenty big, so I'm thinking I might, I don't know, we're going to see here in the summer when he just needs like a really light blanket if I just use kind of this swaddle materialed blanket just for like a light blanket just to kind of block some of that wind. We're gonna see exactly, but I decided to leave it out for now because I figured we might as well leave it out. We have the space, and then we can get a bin when we end up not needing it for sure. Okay, and then this drawer, we just kept it the same. This is like extra pillowcases and stuff for Waverly, extra sheets for us, all that kind of stuff. We have an extra towel curtain, and honestly I could probably put this downstairs just in like decor, and I may do that just to give us a little bit more space. Feminine products, all that kind of stuff, just so we have it. There you have it, my spring cleaning for my hallway area. It feels so good to get this accomplished. We got a ton done, clean and organized. Yes, it's not perfect, but make sure you're subscribed so that way when I come back and reorganize this space you can see how it ends up turning out. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.